Okay, so in last video we talked about what does this elaboration term mean. We just talked about two possible routes people may take when they process information. So in this video, we're going to talk about these two routes, and we're going to talk about under what circumstance people may take this central route or this peripheral route. We're going to look at this central route first. So central route is the path of cognitive processing that involves the scrutiny of message content. So in other words, when people take this central route to process the information, and if there is any persuasion occurred, this persuasion will likely result from this person's careful and thoughtful consideration of the true merits of the information presented in this persuasive message. So in other words, this central route happens when people engage in high elaboration, when people put a lot of cognitive effort thinking through the message. So in this situation, people would focus on the arguments in the message. They may ask questions like, is the argument reasonable, right? Does it make sense? Is there any logic fallacies or flaws in this message? So when people process information using this central route, they would carefully evaluate the message arguments, ponder the implications of the communicator's ideas, and also relate information to their own knowledge and values. So in other words, the central route involves a high level of message elaboration, in which a great deal of cognition about the arguments are generated by the individual who received the message. So let me give you a concrete example. Let's say I want to buy a computer, a laptop. So a few months ago, I went to Saturn, and a guy, he recommended a lot of computers to me. And based on the information provided by this salesperson, I decided to buy, let's say, computer A, because I see lots of merits and strengths of computer A, such as very powerful CPU and a very long battery life, etc. So we can say that in this situation, I decided to buy computer A simply because of all the strengths of computer A, the very good quality, the good performance. So in this situation, I am processing all the information in my central route. So I carefully evaluate every single information provided by this salesperson about the quality, about the performance of these computers. So we can see that the central route processing occurs when people critically think about the persuasive messages. And in these situations, the only time people are persuaded is based on the strength of the message, the quality of the message. So if there is a very strong, powerful, and flawless or solid message, people then they are likely to be persuaded. But if the message is pretty weak, has some flaws or some logic errors, then people they are unlikely to be persuaded. So we can say that if there is any attitude change, this change will be more resistant, will be more predictive of people's behaviors, because this attitude change is achieved through careful and critical processing of the persuasive message. So back to the example, the purchasing router example at the beginning of our class. Let's go back, take a look at the screen of the website on Amazon. So here we can see again, this web page provides a very detailed description about the performance, about the key features of this router. And if you have the background knowledge, some relevant expertise, you'll be able to understand all this technical stuff. Okay, so after reading all these descriptions, I decide to buy this router because you believe this router has very good features, and this message here is pretty convincing. So you are processing through this central route, and this attitude change or this purchase behavior will be much resistant because it's achieved through some critical processing of this technical stuff. And if you scroll down this web page, you will see this web page presents some more key features of this product, motivating people or encouraging people to process this product in central route. Okay, so basically this web page presents all those technical features of this product, such as a high-speed Wi-Fi for your needs. It can be connected with some, Alexa, this kind of stuff. And keep scrolling down this page, we come to the reviewer part of this web page. So we can see that this reviewer, this customer, has left a very detailed description about this product. Basically, it's saying bad things about this product. So again, if you are able to understand this technical stuff, no matter whether you hold a favorable attitude or unfavorable attitude towards this product, you are processing this information in a central route. But if you believe this description or this review is pretty reasonable, very logic, you are very likely to change your attitude and adopt a consistent attitude with this customer. So this attitude change will be much resistant because, again, you are processing this information in a central route. Your decision is made after careful and critical evaluation of this communication. So this is the central route, definition of central route, and under what circumstances people may process information through central route. So next I'm going to talk about a peripheral route. So let's kind of ignore this definition first, and I'll talk about a concrete example. So let's get back to the example where I was trying to buy a laptop from Saturn. So let's say this, again, I went to Saturn and there is a very cute guy, very handsome guy greeting me. And I was so attracted by his look, his appearance, his cute face, his warm smile, and his hot body. And this guy, he introduced me lots of laptops, but because of his good look, his nice appearance, I couldn't focus on the information provided by this guy. I was just staring at his face, paying attention to his smile, to his voice, instead of, the information about the laptop. But anyway, I still decided to buy a laptop from this guy, simply because this guy is very cute, is very sweet, and very handsome. So we can see that in this situation, I make the purchase decision not because of the quality of this product, it's just because this salesperson's, his appearance, his, very nice look. So in this situation, I'm processing this information, or I made my decision through something called peripheral route. So by definition, peripheral route is a mental shortcut process that people simply associate positive or negative images with a target product or behavior, relying on some superficial cues. So in my example, I decided to buy the laptop. It is just because I was associating this laptop, this product, with some positive images of this salesperson. So we can see that the preferred route processing occurs when people are not thinking critically about the message or about the product, but they still might be persuaded by some other superficial cues, such as the look of the product. So this preferred route, it involves less elaboration, less critical thinking. And it is a shortcut based on peripheral cues instead of some central argument, such as the look of the product, the salesperson, where does this message come from, right? So we all have this similar situation or experiences. So I cannot really understand what a message says, but given this message is coming from a credible person, probably a professor or expert in a certain field, we choose to believe in this message simply because the credibility of the message source. It is coming from an expert with expertise and knowledge. So you would say, wow, this message must be reasonable, must be credible. All the attractiveness of the message source. And my situation, my example of buying the laptop is an illustration of this point. I chose to buy the computer because the message source, the salesperson, is pretty attractive. And last one, the attitude change achieved through this preferred route is less resistant because you were not critically processing the logic of the arguments in that message. So let's go back to the router's Amazon page, and can you spot some peripheral cues presented by Amazon to encourage the customers to buy the product? Okay, so I have spotted all these peripheral cues for you guys. For example, let's say here is a bestseller and Amazon's choice. So some customers simply just decide to buy these two products because of these two labels. So these customers, they made their decision through this peripheral cue because these two labels, they don't require logic, reasoning, they don't require lots of, knowledge or some expertise to process this information. I just decide to buy one of these two products because it's labeled as a bestseller. It must be good. And another type of peripheral cue here presented here is this stars and how many customers have bought this product. Again, it doesn't require you to process this information in a critical way. It's pretty easy, very straightforward. And if you click in one product, you may have this review part of this website. So we can see that Amazon is so sweet. They kind of pick out all those key features of this product based on former customers' reviews and give you a very shortcut way to get to know this product. And again, you don't need to acquire or possess relevant expertise or knowledge to process information. Let me give you one more example about this peripheral route. So let's say I'm a little princess. I really want to get a pink and good-looking router. So I browsed the Amazon and finally came across these two cute routers. And I made a very firm decision. I want to get these two routers. Just because it looks good and it got the pink color. So again, I made this decision through my peripheral route, regardless of the quality of these two routers. We can see for the first one, I only got 2 stars here. So again, I decided to buy these two routers just because of its cute appearance. Nothing related with qualities, with its strength or its performance.